Stink Floyd are never going on one of my playlists ever.
Dave's gone.
Dave.
Come back. Come back.
I'm on
Come
strike
back.
till he says he'll put it on.
Welcome. We are Neil,
Luke,
And Dave.
340-somethings, reminiscing on the runners and riders of 90s guitar music.
we look at the bands who soundtracked our youth on both sides of the pond and interview some of our heroes from the bands that defined a generation.
You'll hear about the good, the bad, and the ugly of 90s guitar music.
This podcast is Stupid and Contagious. Episode 41 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. Wang number 9, I think. So we're going to, carrying on from the Steve Albini loss, we are going to do another album special, and we decided to go with In Utero. In Utero.
It's not a debate. It's not a debate. And nobody says In Utero, only Dave.
A lot
It's
of
In
people do.
Utero. And that's the end of it. There's no debate.
So we're going to do that one because we've been thinking about which album to do next, because we did definitely maybe last time. We wanted to go the other side of the pond, and then the obvious choice was Nevermind, I think. But as this Steve Albini thing happened, we thought, well, no, let's have a look at In Utero instead.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do a whole wang on Steve Albini, didn't I? But that would just be me droning on about obscure shit for an hour, which is
yeah, no one wants to
not
hear
fun.
that. Well, some people do, but you know,
I don't know.
He's a big part of the album, so we will be touching on how he achieves his sound and stuff. So that's good. But before we get into that, let's just find out what everyone's been up to. Luke, what have you been up to this week?
Absolutely fuck all.
Brilliant.
Listening to records, reading books, usual stuff.
What books?
It's a bit more social reproduction theory, women and work, feminism, labour, and social reproduction.
Of course you fucking
it's
have.
interesting.
This is in your downtime, right?
This is for fun. Good records. New Mdu Mokhtar record. Been enjoying that a lot.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It is good, yeah. I mean, he's always good, but yeah. Do you know Mdu Mokhtar? No. He's from Niger, and they call it desert blues, kind of the category he belongs to. It's kind of like North African guitar music. Really, he's really cool guy. He made a film, and it was like his own version. See if you can guess. It's a mini quiz. His own version of a very famous 80s music-related film. And his title of his film, or the English title, is Rain, the Colour of Blue with a Little Red in it. Rain, the Colour of Blue with a Little Red in it is the title.
Oh, Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. Purple Rain. Yeah. So in Tuareg, there's no word for purple. So that's the title. Which is really cool. It's a good soundtrack. And
I always struggle
really
when I'm
good
trying to talk in Tuareg with purple.
Right? No word for purple.
What do? Their society must just fall apart.
Well, they say red
blue
with
a
a
little
blue
red in
in
it. Explains it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Opposite way. Blue with a little red.
Dave, what's been happening in Dave Acres? That's what everyone really wants to find out. Oh, have you been clay pigeon shooting yet?
Yeah, the straight shooting party. How was that?
Oh, yeah. It was good. I was absolutely terrible at it. But I did get a few points.
Suggested.
No, I was too scared. The leader was a real Cockney geezer straight out of
your worst, your nemesis. You could have shot him.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't that kind, but he was a bit scary, and he kept telling me to stop shaking.
What were you doing?
I was so scared of him and shooting the gun.
And how was the recoil? I know you're worried about that.
There's nothing to worry about.
Right.
Did you get any pigeons?
Clay pigeons.
Clay pigeons.
Yeah, not real pigeons. Yeah, I got a few, but I was last. Axe throwing as well. I was last in that too. And archery.
So you're last in everything. Brilliant.
How was axe throwing?
It was all right. Not in a great hurry to do it again.
No, it's quite hard, isn't it?
It's very random.
Well, you got to get the axe so that it obviously when it hits the thing, it's in the right position.
Yeah, you got to do it to do exactly one turn. you know, for me, it was just some of them went in, some of them didn't. But then the evening event was really good as well, because it was a 50th birthday.
Right.
And we hired the village. Well, they hired the village hall. They got these actors to come in and host a quiz show.
What do you mean?
Oh, I bet you were in your
It was
element
really
in that,
fun.
eh?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
What do you mean,
Loved it.
actors?
Well, there was like a dressed up as a quiz show host
Oh, right, okay.
and their
Right.
assistant, and they
This
just
could be
you
your
know,
forte in life.
There you go. You may have failed in the brawn, but you won out in the brains, I bet.
Yeah, I bet you.
No,
fucking
it was
showed, didn't
adults
you?
v
Oh, you
kids,
lost that
and
as
the
well.
kids won.
Right. Right.
So we lost that as
Okay.
well. Yeah.
Sure.
So just a whole day of being a loser, basically. That's all right. Isn't it?
Pretty much. Gardening accident.
Bizarre gardening.
Oh,
accident.
he
What
did.
happened?
I was
Yeah,
there.
it's-
I was there.
Can't really
I
see it
witnessed
now,
it.
but I was trying to put up my greenhouse, and
Hmm.
one of those W clips just pinged off into my face, and
Did it?
sliced a chunk out below my lip.
Did you need stitches or anything?
Nah, it wasn't that
It
bad,
was
but
a
it was
minor wound.
quite bloody.
It wasn't
Yeah.
really, was it? There's a little bit of blood.
But I've got even more, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Fucking
So
hell,
you're
God.
gonna have to,
fucking hell.
you're
I'm
just gonna
already
you're just gonna
bored.
have to
Go
pick
on.
some of them. Friday night, my son
Yeah.
went out to
Yeah.
Brighton.
Well, eh?
Like they were
Oh,
they're having
yeah.
a party on the beach.
I bet they were.
About 10:30, I got a phone call from the police
Shit.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
He's done it again.
saying, you know, they've got my son,
Is
vulnerable
this a joke?
person. No,
This is a story. Why didn't you go for this one before the shed thing?
The boring one about putting a bit of wood on a greenhouse.
that's only boring if you're not interested in greenhouses.
I
That's
think
true.
this
That's
one's
true.
much more compelling. Carry on.
So then the police said they've got your son. So
She said he's not intoxicated, but he's obviously had some beer or something, and that,
Right.
you know, she couldn't leave him. And apparently, yeah, the police had just broken up this party, and
Right.
my son had run away in fear. So then they caught him.
Brilliant.
So
He did a run. He made a run for it. He ran from the fuzz.
So I had to go and drive into Brighton to go and pick him up.
So the bastards broke up an innocent party. Criminal justice bill, isn't it? In action.
But the police were really nice, and it's kind of reassuring
Fascists.
to know they weren't
Yeah.
going to leave him. But on the other hand, that would never have happened in our day, would it?
No need for the police.
It never did happen.
No,
No.
of course not.
So when you picked him up, was he wankered? Was he all right?
No, he you know, they had some beer, but you know, he was all right.
He probably did a runner because he didn't want him to find the stash he had in his pocket.
Yeah.
Well, never know.
Well, you do. Just check his pockets, man.
He dumped it, but he dumped it somewhere, didn't
They probably did. Chucked it in the sea.
he? He's learning all these life lessons. It's
Yeah,
good.
man. It's the things you should go through as a teenager. It's good
He'll be
stuff.
able to do his podcast in 30 years' time, and he'll retell that story with glee.
He'll probably say it was the time he got arrested by the
Yeah.
Caught by the fuzz.
fuzz.
Yeah, man.
Mind you, I
Still on
suppose
the
he was.
buzz. Still on the buzz.
Sure.
Well, I'm glad it all worked out well. It was all quite innocent in the end, wasn't it?
Neil, yourself?
I've been working a bit. I did a wedding yesterday. I didn't realise. I thought it was like just your standard wedding, but I was soon caught on to the fact it was a Lord of the Rings themed wedding.
Mate. Love it.
Really?
It was fucking
Did you have to
brilliant.
dress up as well to blend in?
I didn't, but
No.
so I made really good friends with the DJ on the day. I know he was quite a funny bloke. They'd asked him to dress up as Gandalf for the DJ
Nice.
bit at the end. He did it. It was but it was brilliant. Like they cut the cake with this massive sword, and he was doing all these Lord of the Rings quotes all day in his speeches and stuff. And he wore like a necklace with the ring on it and stuff. And
Could have borrowed Dave's jerkin at least. You could have
I
put
know.
Dave's jerkin
Well, if I'd have
on,
known,
you know?
if I'd have known,
Yeah.
I would have made more of an effort. The DJ Gandalf was brilliant. It was great. All the electrics arrived for me van, but I haven't done anything with them yet.
Right.
Because I ain't got a fucking clue. Just got a box full of wires and shit.
Just get on YouTube, man.
That'll be fun. That'll be incoming in the next couple of weeks. I'm still not 100% sure it's physically possible for me to do that, but we'll see. Let's get into this week's episode, talking about In Utero. If you are watching this, then please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, and leave us a comment below. And if you're listening to this, then please do leave a review or a rating so that the podcast gets found.
All right. So, In Utero, released mid-September 1993. So at this point, Nirvana's the biggest band in the world.
Yeah, Main Street hadn't come about yet.
No, yeah, true. But if you think about it, like, it's been 2 whole years since Nevermind came out. So everyone had been waiting a really long time for the album to come out, right? They'd released Incesticide the previous December as like a stopgap to kind of stop people from, going on about where's the new album.
I forgot about that.
Basically, it's like B-sides and live recordings and stuff like that. So a lot of them had been heard before.
Right, yeah.
B-sides of singles and stuff like that. And also, which were all being like, there were loads of like live tracks that were being bootlegged, and they wanted to stop the bootleggers, basically.
That's right, yeah.
One reason why they released it, but another one was to kind of, everyone was like, we want new music from Nirvana. That was another reason.
I love Incesticide. I think it's great.
It's really good. Yeah. It is. Basically, Kurt is famous. He thought that Nevermind had been overproduced. It's probably true.
He did.
And
I've got that written here.
He wasn't happy. Basically, he wanted a simpler, rawer sound. So they wanted to get Steve Albini to be the, not producer, studio engineer, as he calls himself. But mainly because of stuff he'd done with the Pixies and the Breeders.
That's right.
At that point,
They used to listen to a lot of his stuff at the time, didn't they? So it was the obvious choice, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Nirvana basically pretty much ripped off the Pixies.
I was watching something on this, and they literally nicked their snare sound. Yeah, so the snare sound in the Pixies recordings is it Surfer Rosa that
Surfer Rosa
album? Yeah. Kurt basically said, right, that's our snare sound for the next album, sort of thing.
Steve Albini didn't want to do it because he thought they were spoiled rich rock stars, and
I didn't know he didn't want to do it. Is that true? Sorry, I was watching a Conan interview with it was Conan, Dave Grohl, Chris Novoselic, and Steve Albini. They were all sitting there talking about In Utero. And,
I was watching that as well.
It's quite funny because Albini was very frank about it. It's like, yeah, I didn't really. He didn't say he didn't like him on this interview, but he said, like, I'll be honest, like, I thought Nevermind was all right, but I didn't really listen to any of their other stuff.
But he said he kind of felt sorry for them. He could see them kind of being fucked over by the music industry, and he just kind of felt a bit sorry for them. Which is why he agreed to do it. But we talked about last week, he wrote this like 4-page letter laying out his conditions for agreeing to do it, basically.
Yeah, that's covered in that interview as well, yeah.
Yeah. So the main thing is no more than 2 weeks.
Which is nothing at the time.
No, exactly right. Exactly. Don't fuck with anything I do after the facts, basically. What we talked about last week, he refused to take a percentage, right? Described himself as a plumber. He said, if something, you get a plumber in to do the job, you pay them, like they do the job. And apparently he used to wear like overalls and stuff to work.
He was in this interview.
Oh, really?
One of these interviews I watched, he had like 5 pens in his pocket.
That's what he wears in the studio.
There's a real plumber complex.
Maybe he was into like Super Mario. So apparently he took a flat fee of $100,000, which is still a lot of money. But they calculate by now he would have made like $3 million if he'd have taken percentage.
Really? Still not bad for 2 weeks' work, though, is it? 100G.
Not bad at all.
Dave, you'd have taken a percentage, wouldn't you?
Well, I wouldn't have had any qualms about it.
Yeah.
So they went off to the studio near the woods in Minnesota, and basically did all the recording in 6 days. Another 5 or 6 days to remix it, a couple of other things, and it was done in 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah. Have you seen pictures of the studio?
No, I haven't. No.
It's beautiful. It's like, it's a really nice sort. It used to be a house, and then they put a purposely built studio on, not for this, but it's right out in the woods, and it's like a little treehouse thing. Yeah, it's a beautiful building. But what he said is a lot of the reason to do it like that was so they're all in the same place, so he didn't have to travel there each day, and also to keep Kurt away from drugs and stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, if you think about the fact that he 6 months later he was dead. This is like he was pretty. He was not in a good way at this point, you know.
No, I think when he recorded the album, he was clean. Though I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But you see that throughout all the song, well, most of the songs, don't you? Nevermind to me is more Nirvana, and this album is
darker.
just curt. Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
it's
Kurt.
dark.
So they recorded it. The record company hated it, of course, and they said, "Is this a demo? You are going to go back and record it properly, right?" And they're like, "No, this is the album." And so they reached a compromise. The compromise was to allow them to remix the ones that were going to be singles. So Heart Shaped Box and All Apologies were remixed by
Oh, that's
Scott
really
Litt.
interesting because I didn't know this, but I have some notes in when we go through the album. I'll cover it then. But that is interesting that you just made that
So
point.
that was the compromise. So Scott Litt, who was REM's producer for all of their successful albums, basically remixed Heart Shaped Box and All Apologies. I mean, Steve Albini was not happy because they broke the contract. He said, you know, don't fuck with my stuff after I finish with it, and they did. So he was pissed off. But I think it was the right thing to do. It's the perfect compromise, right? It's makes a great album. It gives both of them.
It's all very well for a band to say, "No, I'm sticking. We want to sound like we sound." Blah blah blah. But if you're releasing it into the mainstream, you do have to sort of play the game a little bit, don't you? I guess.
I think they got the perfect album out of it by doing that. I think.
Yeah.
It's got those kind of immediate hits, but it's got the raw kind of, you know, unhinged underground stuff as well. It's got the perfect balance for me.
As you've already touched on, he wasn't a fan of the band to start off with when they started, but he said he became a fan of the band through the recording process as he spent time with them, I guess. The vocals were essentially recorded in one take, 2 days.
Oh,
all
wow.
of them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Incredible.
Kurt just went in there, and the way he used to record his vocals at this time, which is again quite unique, is he couldn't just stand there and sing. He had to be playing something. So he had a little acoustic guitar that didn't make much noise because it's quite old and bad, that he used to play along when he was singing. And in some of the quieter songs, you can just make it out at some points. Apparently, I haven't checked that, but that's what Steve Albini was saying. So he just went in there with his acoustic guitar and Steve Albini, and he did all the vocals in, I think it's 2 days or something. He said he might have done a couple of overdubs, but most of it was just first take, which is why it sounds so raw, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Most people find it more difficult to sing and play the guitar at the same time, but he found it easier.
Because it kept the rhythm, I guess. I don't know, but that's how he used to like to do it. Yeah. It's quite unique.
It's a bit too late now, but you said that all this recording happened in a tree house. They weren't in a fucking tree house, were they?
Yeah, it's just a tree.
A tree.
Yeah, they were all sitting around like a tree. Yeah, you know, like.
Yeah.
But literally,
you had one in your
tree.
garden, didn't you? No. All right, it's not really a tree house, but have a look at the studio, Google it, and you'll see what I mean. It's quite a beautiful building. But yeah, they weren't all just sitting around in a tree house. That would be ridiculous.
It's one way to get high.
Kurt used to like to play with a broken amplifier.
On purpose.
That didn't really work. Yeah, because he just liked the sound, and that's why it's got that distortion sound.
So it came out, and he originally wanted to call it "I Hate Myself and I Want to Die." Yeah, kind of as a joke. And then they said, "No,
it wasn't a joke, was it?"
Well,
he did.
No,
he
did. Yeah, but apparently they said no. There could be some like legal problems. And then he wanted to call it verse, chorus, verse as a kind of piss take of becoming a pop band. And in the end, they went for.
It's nothing like that, but it's just got me reminded. What was that fucking rumor that went around when we were sort of teenagers about the album that if you listen to it backwards, you'd kill yourself?
Was that like Judas Priest?
Yeah, I think it was Judas Priest. Yeah. I can't remember which album, but yeah, if you listen to it backwards, it's got sort of demonic sort of teachings.
Oh, but I mean, like the Beatles were supposed to. I think the White Album, they claimed if you play it backwards, then
Yeah.
But I think Judas Priest was the one that was going around in our time. Yeah.
There's that other thing, isn't there? That if you listen to Pink Floyd whilst you watch,
Wizard of Oz.
yeah, if you start them both at the same time, it's the perfect soundtrack to the Wizard of Oz or something. But I haven't tested that out.
Although listening to Pink Floyd will make me want to kill myself.
Oh, I've got a good Pink Floyd comment later. I'm baiting you later on.
Oh, all right. We're looking forward to it.
Trying to
Keep us
get one
in-
onto the playlist.
I'll give you some. I've got some other facts. During the recording, when they had some downtime, they would make prank phone calls to other rock stars. For example, Eddie Vedder, they made a prank phone call to him. Ivan Dando, they made a prank call, pretending to be like, I think they pretended to be like Tony Visconti, the producer, and saying they want to work with them and stuff, and they were just fucking around.
Do you remember we phoned up Apple Windows?
Yeah. Tell the listeners though. Tell the listeners what happened, Neil.
I'm too embarrassed to say it. You tell them.
No,
You tell him.
you say.
So this is in the days of phone boxes. It's in our school lunchtime, I think. There was a phone box up the road, and we all went there, and it was free phone, Apple Windows, wasn't it? Because it was a famous advert at the time. And we phoned Apple Windows. I think we just asked for some Golden Delicious. Wasn't it?
I think that was it. It's really funny, isn't it?
Fucking hell.
And I think we phoned up like Stana Stairlift and asked for a lift from New Haven to Seaford. When they had finally finished everything, they celebrated by setting fire to their trousers while they were still raining.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They celebrated finishing the album by setting fire to their
How does that
trousers.
work? Did they douse them in petrol first?
Yeah, they doused them. Yeah, and set fire to them. Then they had to use beer to put them
They'd
out.
be dead.
No, they just put it out with beer.
Don't you remember? There was a phase when we were. I don't want to encourage anyone to do this, but
Go on,
I
kids.
think we're okay.
Give it a go.
Where you used to spray deodorant on your arm and set it alight. We used to do that. Didn't we?
Yeah.
But that's all right because it burns off after a while.
Do it now.
Give it. Anyone listening, especially if you're under 16, give it a try.
It's a coming of age thing. That would be what they were doing down the beach, probably setting their arms on fire.
Yeah, lighting their farts. By the way, before we continue, why have I deliberately decided to wear my K Records T-shirt?
Kurt Cobain had a tattoo on his arm.
Well done.
K Records tattoo.
His only tattoo.
I only know that because you've told us before.
A lot of people think he might have been doing it just to impress Toby.
Oh, because they were together, weren't they? Yeah.
They were together, and she was in a couple of bands on K Records. Yeah.
Right. In Utero. Let's do it. Serve the Servants is the first track on the album.
Is it the greatest opening line of an album?
Yeah, dismissing everything he's done up till that point.
I can't
Teenage
remember what it
Angst
is.
has paid off well. Teenage Angst has
That's
paid
it.
off well. Now I'm bored and old. It's got to be.
That's
It's got to be one of the best opening lines to an album, right?
We're going to explore this going through the album, obviously, but lyrically, it's got to be one of the best albums ever, hasn't it?
I think so.
I
After
think-
studying it a
I
little
think
bit
so.
for this.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
so. There's no lyrics that are just thrown in there.
I mean,
sort
it's
of.
no Diggs' dinner, is it? But
No.
No.
It's just all really heartfelt shit.
Also, the another line in that in Serve the Servants: if she floats, then she's not a witch, like we thought. So apparently, that's about the media's treatment of Courtney.
Is it? Right.
Apparently,
Maybe you can help me on this one because I don't understand the lyric. But then it is Kurt Cobain, so I tried hard to have a father, but still I had a dad. What does that mean?
instead,
I had a dad. Instead,
Instead I had a dad. What
I've
does
got
that
the
mean?
exact same note. And what
Right.
the fuck does that mean?
Did you? So you picked up on
yeah.
that as well. Maybe that one doesn't mean anything.
Well, Luke
Well,
can tell us.
Well, I don't know, but there's other stuff. He thought like the media's focus on his parents' divorce was kind of overblown. But at the same time, I think he wanted to address that as well. I don't know. What do you reckon? I tried hard to have a father. I mean,
I don't know what it means.
you'd think it, but the opposite, wouldn't you? You'd think that you'd want to have a dad rather than a father.
Yeah, that's what I
Dad
think. That's why it
sounds
doesn't
more
work.
friendly and intimate. If it had been the other way around, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe someone can help us. If you're listening or watching and you know the answer, put it in the comments. Yeah, well, it's funny that Dave picked up on that as well. But yeah, I never really understood that lyric. But yeah, but what an opener! What an opener to the
Yeah.
album.
Full
I
on.
mean, you know.
Great.
And then we go on to Senseless Apprentice. Just an out and out banger, isn't it? Grohl thumping guitars, thumping drums are back.
Well,
you know?
it may be a slip there, Neil, but do you know this is the only Nirvana song where Dave Grohl was credited with writing the guitar riff.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's interesting. Kurt scream, Grohl's is Nevermind all over again, isn't it? Really?
Apparently, when they first played it live, it went to 17 minutes. They just kind of stretched it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like it's one of my favourite songs on the album. I think it's good.
It's just raw, isn't it? Those, like you say, those heavy drums. So good.
Yeah. Dave, big fan.
No, it wouldn't be one of my top ones. But is it the one with the baby smelling like butter in it?
Another great
I think so.
lyric.
Which they do. So
like
I
most
definitely
babies
agree
smell
with that.
like butter. Yeah.
Apparently, it's based on some book.
Yeah, perfume.
You'll both be able to tell us. Did your baby smell of butter?
Yeah.
And shit.
Shit.
Well, yeah, when they first come out, they don't smell good then.
Well, and then we got Heart Shaped Box.
Yeah.
The standout track from the album, just because of the success of it and the video. I was thinking back on Nirvana, and they didn't really do many videos, did they? Really, that I can remember.
You'd only do them for singles.
Yeah, but a lot of it was just live footage, I think. They did Smells Like Teen Spirit, obviously, and well, they must have done them, but I just didn't see them, I think.
But there were 4 singles of Nevermind. They all had videos, and there were 2 off In Utero. There's only 6, right?
Yeah,
I don't think any were made for Bleach. So.
It's a great video. I love the way it's shot.
It's fucking weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's intentionally shot like, in a weird sort of colours and yeah, it's fucked.
Well, here's a weird thing. So apparently the song is about like children with cancer, right?
Right.
And in the video, that weird like Jesus guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, like during the filming, he kind of collapsed with some kind of cancer-related illness.
Oh, I like stories like that.
Yeah.
It's like how everyone from the Exorcist died.
Right.
Poltergeist. Everyone from Poltergeist. The kid died. Someone else died. Yeah, Tutankhamun, all that stuff. Yeah, and that's interesting. I don't like that he died, but
he didn't know. I don't think he died. He didn't die, but he was not in a good way.
So it's just dark.
Yeah,
but dark, but it's quite a poppy track, isn't it?
It is dark.
It's got
hey, dark,
wait, that's what makes it. It's great, isn't it?
But it's interesting. Now I can talk about the production side of things, and I was going to say how that and All Apologies definitely sound like the most produced tracks on the album. But now you've explained. There you go.
Are they the 2 with cello on, or is...
No.
All Apologies has a cello, doesn't it?
All Apologies, and I think Dumb has cello on it as well.
Yeah.
So the cello was in there from the beginning. She was in the treehouse.
She was in the treehouse.
Yeah. It took a while to get her up there, but yeah.
But yeah, get that cello up.
Yeah, they definitely sound different to the rest of the album, I think.
Yeah. Do you know why it's called Heart Shaped Box?
No.
That's the kind of thing you'd put all your feelings into, a little heart-shaped box about a person.
Oh, is
it's
that what
not
you do?
Only the kind of thing. It's exactly what Courtney gave Kurt, a heart-shaped box full of little things in their early courtship days. And then apparently they kind of... It's not even a metaphor. It's a real thing. It's a real thing that existed. And then they kind of gave each other little heart-shaped boxes. It's kind of... It was like their thing, apparently.
Cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Again,
although Courtney claims that the song's about her vagina.
Oh, okay. Has she got a heart-shaped box?
I thought that was a very English slang term for it. Box.
Also, she contributed some of the lyrics as well, apparently, Courtney. She claimed it's about her vagina, but I don't think it is. It's a literal thing. They had a little collection, I think, in their bedroom of these boxes they'd given each other over the years. So heart-shaped.
Right.
Although the original the original lyrics are heart-shaped coffin, and that seems a bit too dark.
I thought you were going to say cock.
A little bit.
No, that would be good. I mean, what would they even look? I said, what would they look? It'd be heart shaped.
If he had a heart-shaped
Yeah.
cock and she had a heart-shaped box,
Well,
It'd be
Trump,
perfect match.
Trump has a mushroom-shaped cock, doesn't he?
He does.
Famously.
don't know. Have you seen
Yeah.
it?
Well, according to Stormy Daniels, she
Oh,
wore a dress covered in mushrooms when she went to court recently.
because
troll
it
it.
was.
No, that was fake. That was fake.
Oh, was it?
That was a fake.
Oh.
Yeah. Although she
Oh.
no, she did describe it as being like a mushroom, but she didn't wear a mushroom dress to court.
They'll have him bang to rights if they get him to take his knob out and show what it looks like, and
Well, they
she
have
can
to.
prove.
You'll
Yeah.
have to.
They have to do that. It's a court of law.
Yeah. And the line, I wish I could eat your cancer when you turn black. So according to this guy, Charles Cross, I was rereading this part of the book. He claims that line, I wish I could eat your cancer when you turn black. So Kurt sang in what has to be the most convoluted route any songwriter undertook in pop history to say, I love you.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's not as good as the umbilical cord line, which I
Yeah,
can't remember again. I'm not very good at remembering.
Throw down
things.
your umbilical noose and I can
That's
climb
it.
right back. It's just,
Yeah.
it's poetry, man. It's brilliant.
What's the next song on it?
Rape Me.
Is it? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It is. I always thought that it's got a really similar chord sequence to Teen Spirit, hasn't it? It's the same.
It's
Yeah,
like
I
a
was going to
parody
say
of it,
that
isn't
as
it?
well.
Is it? Is
Well,
it
it's
actually?
to me, I don't think it's supposed to be what it is. It may be. It's almost like a parody of it.
Yeah, it's just the same sort of chords, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good song. I like it. It's not
It's
much
one of my
to say
favourites.
about it, though. Really, is it?
Oh, there's a lot to say about it. It was the most,
All right, go on then.
controversial track on.
Mm.
There's nothing to say about a song called "Rape Me." What the
No.
fuck?
I do remember when I think they were trying to scare MTV when they
Yes.
played live on MTV. They started playing the intro to that, and then they went into. I can't remember what they went into in the end.
And,
Can't remember the song.
Lithium, I think.
Lithium, yeah, because they'd obviously said you can't play that, and they were like,
Exactly.
right, well,
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. So apparently, go on, Dave. You're going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say apparently he claimed it's some kind of feminist song.
An anti-rape song. Yeah.
But when I looked at the lyrics, I thought it was more like he thinks he's being raped by
yeah, that's
everyone,
what
like
that's
the
the way I took it.
Mm.
It just seems he's getting
Interesting.
fucked over all
and
the
it
time.
seemed like the feminism thing was a bit retrospective, but
His argument is that it's kind of a song of empowerment and defiance from the woman's point of view, saying, "Come on, rape me, motherfucker, and we'll see what happens
Right.
to you then." You know, that kind of defiant, like, you're gonna get yours kind of thing. Fuck around and find out, dipshit. It's the kind of
Yeah.
he's saying that's what the message is. And
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm kind of with Dave on this one though, because it's not just the other lyrics in the song, hate me and all this stuff. It does seem more it's about him and his treatment.
Yeah, maybe that's
don't know.
what he claimed anyway.
Yeah,
As a
well, he wrote it, so
Song of
good song.
defiant
I like the
empowerment.
song.
I think it's great. I love the
nothing to say about it. Is there?
breathlessness at the end. It's pretty fucked up. And do you know they changed the name to Waif Me to sell it in Walmart.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Did it work?
I think they just had to on the jacket just to change the title. They didn't actually change it in the singing, but just the title on the jacket. It couldn't be displayed in Walmart.
You
And
must be
again,
able
lots
to
of
buy
people,
those copies.
yeah, sure. Like everyone's like, Kurt's a sellout for giving in and compromising to Walmart.
Well, you have
And
to
he's
get
like-
it sold.
Well, that's what he said. He said, I grew up in a
Yeah.
town without record shops. There are a lot of kids. Walmart's the only place to buy records, so I want them to be able to buy it.
That's what I mean. Sometimes you have to play the game, but as long as you play it on your terms, I think it's all right. That's quite
Yeah.
profound, that, isn't it?
What you just
Just
said.
made yeah.
Well done.
There you go. Thanks.
The longest title song is next.
Yeah.
Frances Farmer will have her revenge on Seattle,
Yeah.
which was a real person, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Go on. I don't know.
I read a book about her as well. Because of this song, I was in a charity shop in the late 90s, and I came across a book about her, and I was like, oh, Frances Farmer. I'll read that.
Mm.
And yeah, interesting story. So she was like an actress in the 30s. And she's an interesting person. She was like an atheist,
Right.
outspoken atheist. She was a lot of people claim she was a communist. She was definitely kind of on the left. And she basically, I don't know whether she was just, you know, uncompromising person that didn't take any shit from anyone, or if she did have kind of mental health problems. But she yeah, she basically got put into a mental asylum and
Right.
abused and mistreated and fucked up.
Okay.
And she was like alcoholic and yeah, she had a pretty bad life. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Well,
again,
that's
whether it's
gives
just
it a
being
bit of
a
context.
independent,
Yeah.
outspoken woman in the 1930s, or if she was, you know, a bit mental, I don't know. But yeah,
That song reminds me of Aneurysm off Incesticide. It's got a similar sort
Ooh,
of. I
interesting.
think it's got a similar structure.
Oh man, Aneurysm is one of their best tracks, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Love that song. But yeah, that's why this just seemed to have a similar sort of vibe. It's a great song. It's got the quiet loud combo. That's what I mean. You know.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's got the the line, "I miss the comfort in being sad," which is just great, right?
Yeah,
Something Neil's always saying, isn't it?
it's
Yeah.
true though. I always say this to people. Like I like to listen to dark, depressing music, but there's a beauty in that sadness. That's what I try to explain to people. That it's not all like. Doesn't mean you want to kill yourself all the time. There's some sort of comfort, a beauty in it. It's
Yeah.
I get it. You know, not everyone does. I find it difficult to listen to upbeat music. It doesn't move me.
It's a great line anyway. I miss the comfort
Yeah.
of being sad.
You know, I think he says a lot. The thing with Kurt Cobain's lyrics was he just said a lot of stuff that we all kind of think, but we just never articulate it in words. You know, like just because you're paranoid don't mean they're not after you. It's very true, isn't it?
True, although he didn't write that, but yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean.
It's like an old it's an old like it's an old hippie kind of saying from the 60s. That is
Right.
But he did write the
but
lyric.
Yeah,
he did
but he put
write
it
them, yeah,
down.
but that
He
that's
put it
stayed.
down.
He
Yeah.
did. He did.
He didn't
But
come
it's-
up with the
No.
phrase.
But you
originally.
know, that's very true, isn't it? Just because, you know, you say something's after you doesn't mean it isn't, you know. Could be.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
stop it happening, does it? Just by
No.
saying it. You know, and I like that he puts down these things that we think that but don't necessarily articulate. I think that was what
Yeah,
he's
it's
really
good.
good at.
That's a great
Yeah,
song.
definitely.
Oh, before we move on,
Go on.
Francis Bean is not named after that song
I was going to say, was there any? There's no relevance. How do we know?
because he was asked about it and he said no, but
Oh,
she
right.
is named after Francis McKee from the Vaselines, who he was a big fan of. He covered their songs on Unplugged and you know, Molly's Lips and all that.
Mm.
But maybe they were named after Francis Farmer.
Possibly they're Scottish, I
Maybe.
guess. Maybe.
So unlikely. Unlikely.
I think we're still yet to find out if she goes. I know she does do music and stuff, doesn't she, Frances Bean? And she's got a great voice, but
She got married to Tony Hawk's son, right?
that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a great combo.
It is.
Maybe she just thinks it's just too obvious. So I don't think she's gone down that route, has she? Of seriously
has
pursuing
done-
it.
Yeah,
She does
I've
make
Seen a
music,
few
but
videos on YouTube of that. She's
yeah,
good.
she does, but she doesn't sort of gone all out.
Not yet.
Be interesting to see if she does at some point. She fucking looks like him now. It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 So now we've got Dumb, which is just a beautiful piece of music. Love it.
That's got cello, isn't it?
Yeah, that's got the
Yeah.
strings.
You
in
already
it,
said
yeah.
that, yeah.
But yeah, it's just beautiful. It's a bit like, but it's a bit of a lazy comparison, but something in the way. But it's not really, is it? It's just
No, it's definitely mellow. Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently, it was written in 20 minutes in a hotel in Amsterdam,
Was it?
according to Courtney. And it was written before. Never mind, it's written in like 1990.
I think I read something that quite a few songs on In Utero were written before Nevermind, or
at
around the
least
same
began.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we think it's about Kurt's self-doubt? Is that what it's about?
Yeah, I mean that just goes through all the songs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Self-doubt
yeah.
was the other one. Alienation.
Mm.
Mind you, this one isn't about alienation, is it, Dom?
I read a really interesting book about alienation recently. It's an interesting concept.
Go on.
No, it get ridiculously boring. But yeah,
I've got to edit this.
yeah, that's true. We don't want to get into Marxist theory. It's not.
Read the book out from page 1 to the end.
We'll do a whole episode on it. So, Very Apes next, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
For me, that's probably for me, that's the weakest song on the album.
Oh, really? Not for me, but okay. I really like it.
Right,
Raw, abrasive, short, sharp.
Yeah,
it's great.
Nah, it's not for me. Sorry.
That was a one take, apparently. The whole song.
Was
one
it?
take.
Any notable lyrics?
Well, the lyrics, I often use it. Go on.
Go on.
I often use the line, if you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask someone else first. I often use that line with friends because it's funny.
I mean, it's not a terrible song by any means, but it's just, if I had to choose a weakest one on the album, then that would be it.
Interesting. Do you know that it was sampled by the Prodigy for Voodoo People?
Oh, no, I
No,
didn't.
nice fact.
The guitar riff.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I had a listen and it's totally there.
Anything else on that,
like
Dave?
It. No. Neil hates it. I love it.
I don't hate it.
Thing is, what I did for all of the songs, I put it into GPT.
Oh,
Of course you fucking did.
What the fuck?
But there's nothing nothing to add.
Of course not. It's a machine, man. It doesn't understand feeling. These are songs that make you feel.
People are getting worried now, aren't they? They're getting spooked by the whole AI thing. I think everyone's going to fucking get their legs blown off by robots.
Yeah.
But Luke's right. They don't understand anything, but they do summarize all knowledge that has ever been written.
They just
about
do.
these songs.
They just do a really quick search on Google.
Okay, what does Chat GPT say about Milk It? Next track 8,
Oh,
Milk
actually,
It. What does Chat GPT say?
I've just got my own comments on that.
Oh, wow. You relied on your own feelings and opinions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a good one.
Milk It. ChatGPT says the lyrics of Milk It are cryptic and fragmented, often interpreted as expressing feelings of alienation, frustration, and the struggle with internal demons.
Exactly. Yeah.
What does Dave say about it?
Well, this is the one I thought it really reminded me of Piper at the Gates of Dawn, the album by.
He wants to get it on the playlist.
Fuck, it's not going on not going anywhere
Maybe it's
near
a good
the playlist.
Song. This song, Lucifer Sam.
I've got a bike,
really
you can ride
similar.
it if you like.
Put Lucifer Sam on it.
I hate that.
No, I'm not making a note.
Make a note.
No.
Right, I'm going on strike.
Mate, Stink Floyd are never going on one of my playlists. Ever.
Dave's gone. Come back.
I'm on strike till he says he'll put it on.
You're gonna have to.
I can't do it. Oh man, Dave's withdrawn his labour.
So you'll do it.
I've written the note. I'm not going to say I'll do it. I've written a note. I've noted down Lucifer Sam.
All right.
That's as far as I'm promising.
That bike song is shit, though. That bike song is shit.
It's not shit.
It is
it's one of the worst band that's
one of
ever
the best bike
lived.
songs ever done.
Is it better than I Want to Ride Queens, which is one of the worst songs ever written?
Yeah, but it's worse than that. That's the thing. Yeah, it's worse than the Queen one.
Yeah, which is saying something.
But it is hard to write a good song about a bike.
I don't know. I think Delgados have got a couple of good songs about bikes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't not Kraftwerk do Tour de France as well?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So there's one.
But I agree with everything ChatGPT said. I had pretty similar notes.
Maybe ChatGPT stole your notes. That's where he got it from.
I think so. Well, they must, even though mine are handwritten, they kind of
doesn't matter.
I wrote down like the self-reinforcing kind of dialectical relationship between himself and his illness. is what he's talking about. It's
Yeah.
destroying him, but he needs it. We feed off of each other.
But yeah, it's another song with the old quiet verses and the thumping choruses. That's kind of their trademark, wasn't it?
I think it's probably the most non-commercial track on the album, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Again, more on like the Incesticide stuff.
Yeah, I like that track.
Yeah, it's good. And then we got anything else on that one?
Oh, just it's one of the only times like he directly talks about his drug addiction. He says it talks about his place of recovery, right? Scent is still here in my place of recovery.
I would have said it's probably the most psychedelic song on the album.
Milk It.
Yeah.
That's
like
an interesting
lyrically,
right.
It's like this really weird world he's painting in that song.
Yeah, well, his own internal world, right? And as I said, it's one of the only direct references to his drug problems,
But speaking of that, Penny Royalty.
Yeah.
Hang on.
That must be an indirect reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a link, it's a segue.
Nicely done. Professional.
There's so many great lyrics in this song.
Again, Courtney helped write it, apparently.
I have very bad posture. He did have a back. He did have a back problem, didn't he? He notoriously had a back problem. Yeah. That's why he started doing drugs.
Yeah, well, stomach problem rather than a back problem, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's not a great lyric, is it? Very bad posture.
Oh, it is a good lyric.
Really?
Maybe I should have led with this. I just did them in order, but maybe I should have led with "Give me Leonard Cohen Afterworld so I can sigh eternally."
Yeah, that's a good one, right?
Beautiful, isn't it? Poetry, like you say.
So apparently that line, that's about like someone who's like feeling depressed. And like you, Neil, they say, okay, I'm going to listen to depressing stuff. And it just makes you feel worse when you do it. It's apparently what that part's about.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but it's good, isn't it?
It's really, really good. Yeah, yeah. Another one that was written pre-Nevermind.
Right, okay.
In fact, they debuted it at the exact same gig that they debuted Teen Spirit.
Oh, really? That's interesting. So they had it in the bag for a while.
So basically, did fuck all after Nevermind and just regurgitate the old songs.
He was touring the world and being a rock star.
Doing a lot of drugs and stuff.
I'm doing a lot of drugs.
He was filling his time. I'm so tired I can't sleep.
Yeah, everyone. That's again. It's one of those things that you can relate to, right?
Had it last night.
So this was supposed to be their third single, and they were even scheduled to play Top of the Pops to do it, but
right.
But yeah, it wasn't to be.
Why not? What happened?
Look it up.
That would have been interesting. It would have been interesting to see whether he sabotaged the Top of the Pops performance. He wouldn't have done it again, I don't think, because it would have been too obvious, wouldn't it?
Although I think this was one of the best tracks on the Unplugged album, right? Penny Royalty is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Did the Unplugged album come out before this? Before In Utero?
I'd have said after.
No, after.
I mean, that's a whole nother album, isn't it? But that's fucking great.
Should have done that
Unplugged thing.
We need to get the Albini connection, man.
It's not really an album, is it? It's a performance. I don't know.
It's an amazing collection of songs, isn't it? And it shows
it's incredible.
Everything that he liked.
Incredible. Putting all that sort of raw energy into an acoustic gig, it really was something, It just proved what amazing musicians they were as well, Not that we needed proving, but
I think that album really put David Bowie in a new light for me because
it's true.
I liked him before, but I didn't really think he was that cool or anything before. And I realised he had all this other load of songs. Yeah, because I just knew his 80s songs.
Yeah, it's just a great gig, isn't it? Everyone goes on about it now, but
so they should. Okay, back to In Utero, number 10, radio friendly unit shifter. Great title again, taking the piss out of their commercial success. Fuck you to the music industry,
Yeah, but then it's juxtaposed with all that fucking distortion and shit at the start.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? That's the
it's not
joke.
radio friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Exactly. It wouldn't be so clever if it wasn't.
Again, there's so many amazing lines in it. They're kind of disjointed and they don't add up to much of a whole, but by themselves, there's so many amazing lines in this song.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most fucked up songs on the album, I think.
Yeah.
Raw, innit? And
it's amazing.
I think that can't be underestimated. Keep coming back to Dave Grohl's drum. I think that can't be underestimated.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking
don't
the
think
same
anyone
when
does,
I was
man.
listening to it.
No,
Yeah.
no, but I think we always thought, obviously, the lyrics and Kurt and blah, 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 but they were a unit, and, you know, Dave Grohl's drumming is just something else. It's very
Especially
unique,
knowing
I think.
the other talents he has as well. I mean, I don't know if you like Foo Fighters much, but he can obviously
No,
No one
play
does.
well, we
guitar
don't.
and sing very well as well.
But that's what we've made the point that the opposite, that he should have just stuck to the drums.
No, I quite like the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine all the great records he could have made with drumming and that. Like when he played with
Queens of the Stone Age.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they should have done that.
Yeah.
Should have carried on doing that. Just don't. The Pooh Fighters don't do it for me.
Same. Favorite lines? Blanket acneed with cigarette burns. That's such a great visual image, isn't it? Acneed. That's a great way of
Horrible.
putting it, right? Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Talking about fame again, right? I do not want what I've got. Oh man. And I think the final lines are, I think, very Albini. It says, hate your enemies, save your friends, find your place, speak the truth, which is basically Albini's life philosophy, right?
And mine.
And Dave's. I've never noticed those lines before when I was getting ready for this, and I thought, oh, that is just so Steve Albini. He was very outspoken about the people he hated. He said some funny things, man. He hated the Smashing Pumpkins, which is so funny.
Brilliant. Oh, he's gone up in my
um,
estimation immediately.
helps out his friends. Find your place in the world. Yeah, speak the truth. He never bullshitted, man. It's, to me, that's like Albini's philosophy, and that couplet.
Then we go on to Tourette's, which didn't really need to be on there. It's only 1 minute 35, so they obviously, you know,
it's pretty throwaway, right?
Oh, we'll chuck this in. Yeah, but I think it's great. It's good, isn't it? It's just like a screamer-thon.
Moderate rock.
Well, rock.
Do that.
That's it.
Do that.
Moderate rock. It's good.
Before people really knew what Tourette's was at the time.
No, because there was that documentary that everyone watched at school and then came in the next day talking about it.
Yeah, but this was pre that, wasn't it?
No, we would have been. Maybe about the same time. No,
it was Big Brother, wasn't it? When they had that Tourette's guy on it.
No, there was that documentary.
No, that was
the
2000s. That's what I mean.
Because they couldn't believe that they'd said like "fuck" and "cunt" on TV. Because they didn't have it on TV then. Those words, right?
I think that disease is one of the most amazing things. It's like not amazing for people who've got it. I think it's a real affliction, but it's just mad, isn't it? How it affects people like that.
It could be a little window into how the brain works. You know, a lot of these.
Maybe, yeah.
Apparently, like it's only like 20 or 30% are like the sweary one.
Luke would have the sweary one if he had it.
I would. Gotta stop it, actually.
Oh yeah, that brilliant documentary on Lewis Capaldi. Maybe we've already talked about it.
Yeah, that's good. That's interesting.
Really feel that his pain.
What about Lewis Capaldi? What about him?
That's what we just said.
He developed
he's got Tourette's.
Yeah.
How is he?
Yeah.
And it sort of got worse as he went on tour and got more famous.
And famously, when he played Glastonbury, he couldn't finish the songs because the crowd had to finish them.
That sounds familiar. Yeah. But that's because of Tourette's.
It's kind of a different kind of just uncontrollable tics. Yeah.
Jerks and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, that's again that's brought on. It's a psychosomatic thing. I think it's bizarre. Anyway, that's probably not really what the song's about. But
it's kind of like it's a bit like Territorial Pissings from Nevermind, isn't it?
Yeah,
short, sharp, screamy.
Yeah, like I say, a throwaway, but they didn't have to have it on there. So, but they obviously thought, well, we like this, so put it on.
Yeah, Kurt said it just fit is what he said. It just kind of fit.
From that sort of throwaway track to All Apologies, which is,
Kurt's finest moment as a songwriter, do we think?
Possibly.
Love the riff to it. I meant to try and learn it, but I haven't got round to it yet.
By next week. You got a guitar hanging up behind you with that. You can start off next week's podcast with it.
Like we've spoken about before, probably the most produced track on the album.
Yeah, and all the better for it, I think.
Yeah, it lends itself to that sort of production, doesn't it? It is a sort of radio friendly song, isn't it?
So what's it about? So I've always just assumed that it was very, very obviously his suicide note.
Possibly. I mean,
like, what else can I do? What else can I say? There's, there's nothing else to do,
But the whole album is a suicide note, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, apparently this one was written a while back as well. What does ChatGPT say about it?
It says in interviews, Cobain mentioned that the song was written about his relationship with his wife and their daughter. And the lyrics, "What else should I be? All apologies," could be seen as Cobain expressing his feelings of inadequacy and the pressure to meet the expectations of those around him.
Yeah. I wrote down identity, alienation, again, guilt, death, happiness. That's what I wrote down. Whatever that means.
Happiness, where's that?
At the end, man. In the sun, feel as one, It's got that kind of hopeful, that kind of desperately hopeful kind of vibe going on.
But isn't that saying, I'm only going to be happy when I'm buried?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Which isn't very happy.
We don't know.
Apparently, when he was writing it, he was obsessively listening to Norwegian Wood.
Good song.
Yeah.
Not I've Got a Bike by Pink Floyd.
No.
Don't put that one on.
Not a mouse in the house called Gerald, or what the fuck they got.
No, but that Lucifer Sam song is actually a good song.
I mean, if he'd binged on that shit, it could have been a whole different album. I don't want to keep going on about Pink Floyd, but Syd Barrett, I just think he's the most overrated fucking. He wasn't a genius. He was just wrote some really shit lyrics. And then fucking lost it. I mean, that's a shame that he lost his mind and stuff. But let's not pretend that he wrote loads of cool stuff. It was just all fucking childish bullshit.
Well, I'm going to pretend he did.
I know you are.
It wasn't childish.
I've said it before.
He was a very similar guy to Kurt.
No, he was not.
Oh, yes, come on.
Oh, fuck off.
Kurt
had talent.
Let the listeners decide.
There's a difference.
You cannot compare I've Got a Bike to fucking All Apologies.
You could not compare a mouse called Gerald to...
I'm not comparing that. I'm comparing the people.
Well, troubled minds, I guess. I don't think he was troubled at the time. It was only when he fucking lost his mind on acid that he became nuts.
All right, should we do a top 3 songs, as is our custom with a wang?
We All Need Another Hero is my number 1. Bonnie Tyler.
No, from In Utero.
It's a good song.
It is a good song.
It's not Bonnie Tyler either, is it? I mean, I Need a Hero. That's Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah, but the video is brilliant to that. But yeah, it's not on In Utero.
No.
You weren't specific, Luke, to be fair.
True.
Yeah, you should have been more.
What else have we been talking about for the last hour? You fuck no.
My number 1 is
you go in reverse order. You're going in first order.
I don't know what my number 3 is though.
Well, you have to do 3, 2, 1 like Dusty Bin, man.
Okay. I'm gonna go 3 Heart-Shaped Box. It's a good song and I love the video. Yeah. I'm gonna go 2 Dumb. I like a quiet ballad. So I like that.
That's my least favourite, I think. Huh.
No, I like it. It's good. My number 1 is Francis Farmer, We'll Have a Revenge on Seattle.
Nice one.
Because it sounds like aneurysm. I like that one. There you go. That's my 3, 2, 1.
Shall I go next, Dave, while you're thinking? Or do you want to go next?
He's just going to chat GPT it, isn't he?
I know. Okay, my number 3 is radio friendly unit Shifter. I think it's just brilliant. A bit of chaos and just love it. Number 2 is Rape Me, just for the extremity of it. And I love the kind of the way it fades out when he's screaming. It's just amazing. Yeah. Number 1's obvious, but All Apologies, I think, is one of the finest pieces of songwriting ever committed to vinyl. Dave, over to you.
Good top 3, Dave.
Yeah, my number 3 is also radio friendly unit Shifter.
Here we go.
Well, I mean,
you're not going to copy me, are you? Yeah.
No, if you'd
Yeah.
asked me this, I would
Yeah.
have. These were my three. I
Yeah.
had them ready.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Rape Me.
You fucker. You fucker. He's copying me.
You should have just asked me first.
Yeah, go
But
on. It's number 1, all apologies.
No,
Oh.
my number 1 is Serve the Servants. Just think the best. Well, obviously, I think it's the best song, but I do really love the way the album opens and closes. It's very.
It's good.
It seems to have been
I think the whole
album very
album
carefully.
Yeah, I think the whole album is very well. I'm fucking rubbish with words.
What about the top 3 albums? I mean, I would say, for me, this is my favourite album.
From Nirvana.
Oh, we done top 3 Nirvana.
Oh, without
Nirvana albums.
And then Bleach, and then Nevermind for me.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I agree.
I think I'd be well. Are we calling Incesticide an album or not?
No, not
right. Okay. So if it's only those 3, then I would the same. I'd go this, Bleach, Nevermind.
But if you're including everything, I'll probably go In Utero, Unplugged.
Yeah. Well, are we or aren't we?
Or maybe Bleach. No, we're not.
If it's just those 3 albums, then we're all going to go the same, are we?
Yeah, I guess.
In Utero, Bleach, Nevermind.
Yeah. Not to take anything away from Nevermind, it's a perfect pop record, right?
It just goes to show their body of work. It's and why they were what they were. It's a fucking great band. Can't be underestimated.
When we did the Grunge special, I said, gun to my head, Nirvana. I choose Nirvana as my favorite band ever. And you said, Neil, that you like Kurt more than you like Nirvana, which is a fair comment. Doing this wang today and getting ready and re-listening, has it given you more of an appreciation for Nirvana than you had before?
Oh, I think I always recognise they're good. They're all great musicians, and I guess it's cemented the whole Dave Grohl's drumming thing. But no, I think if anything, it's made me more of a. I just think Kurt is
Kurt fan, right?
I
agree with Neil.
There's something massive about his songwriting that
it's creativity
just other people just can't do, and has never been emulated before or since. I don't think.
Yeah,
it probably has. There's probably bands I haven't heard that have got equally talented lyricists, but I don't know.
For me, this was basically a solo album.
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
You also can't take away Chris Novoselic and Dave Grohl's influence on the band's sound. Like we keep referring to Dave's drumming and stuff. They would have been totally different records without them. So,
but the thing is, right? They had going into the album. They had an impossible task, right? They had the underground album, right? They had Bleach. They had the big pop smash that gave them all these new followers, and there was literally no way to please everyone, and they did it.
Yeah,
they did it.
Yes,
they somehow did it.
Yeah.
They didn't at the time. It wasn't. There was a lot of criticism, wasn't there, for the album?
There was, but there was always going to be. There was always going to be, wasn't there? Like Luke says, there's a no-win situation.
But
really.
I think they managed it. They made everyone happy, and they without compromising. And it's just an incredible album that's got both sides of what they are. It's got the raw grunginess of Bleach, and it's got the pop element of Nevermind, but with something new and experimental and fearless. It's great.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, would it be such a great record? We'll never know, obviously. But if what happened to Kurt hadn't happened to Kurt,
yes,
and they'd gone on and made subsequent albums.
Yeah, because the legacy of it now is it was like Dave said. It's kind of like in retrospect, like a suicide letter in an album, kind of. It's like a story of his demise. But yeah, it's a silly question, really, because we'll never know, and it didn't happen that way.
It's not a silly question. I just think it would have been as good. It did.
I agree. I think it would as well.
Someone to die to make something better. We should.
No,
that should be wrong.
No, definitely, man. Yeah. Definitely.
Again, we'll never know. But yeah, well, I wonder what sort of albums they would have made.
Well, he was supposed to be like working with Michael Stipe and stuff, wasn't he? He was going to go in a more kind of acoustic-y direction.
I don't think Nirvana would have stayed together for much longer. I don't think.
No,
Is that why he killed himself?
he didn't want to sound like REM.
He sort of regretted arranging it. It's the only way he could get out of it.
Yeah.
He had a conversation with Michael Stipe, and Michael Stipe says, "I want to go back to those early REM albums," and that was it for him. It's like, you can go fuck yourself. I am.
That other well-publicised theory about his death, isn't there? About how it was engineered by Brett Anderson.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Try and stack the deck in Britpop's favour.
Yeah. Exactly. A lot of people say that, and yeah. I wouldn't. It adds up.
Well, like I said, we were going to do Nevermind, but I'm glad we didn't now, because it's our number 3.
Well, it's a more interesting album to discuss, and it's a better record. So yeah.
But it's interesting that we all had Bleach as number 2 as well, because Dave Grohl isn't even on that, is he?
No.
But we still like that one.
Apparently, on Incesticide, there's 4 different drummers are featured on Incesticide,
and we like that one. So yeah, I think although they're all talented musicians, I think we have to recognise that Nirvana, it is Kurt Cobain's sort of domain. He's the glue.
He basically wrote all the songs, didn't he? You can correct me on that, Luke.
Not all of them. And some of them are accredited to all 3 members. Very few of them. Some of them are, though. I think Aneurysm might be one of them, Neil, that is credited to all 3.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Well,
Might be wrong about that.
I think lyrically he wrote all the songs, as far as I know. So that's it for this one. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on In Utero, your favourite songs, favourite album, favourite Nirvana albums. Just start a conversation below. Let's have a chat about the album.
Especially if you've got any facts that we missed. I love having Nirvana facts. If you've got any more, put them in the comments.
If you are watching this, then please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment below. And if you're listening to this, then please do leave a review or a rating so that the podcast gets found. I can't stress that this is really important. Otherwise, people won't find the podcast. So please do take the time to do that. Luke, playlist. No Pink Floyd this week.
No. So I'll the whole of In Utero, plus I'll put a few extra tracks that we've chatted about on there as well. Dave's gone on strike, so it just leaves it for me to say, see you in a minute.